Perplexity Computer feels like the first AI super agent that you can just throw your work at with zero setup and zero tinkering, and it's just going to do it. Here, it built out for me an app that scrapes Facebook Marketplace every morning for undervalued products that can be flipped to eBay for more money. All this took was one prompt telling it what I was looking for, and then it went out and just figured out how to make it. I didn't even need to set up Computer before I did this. I just logged in for the first time, asked it for this app, and here's what it made for me. And that's why I think for most people, Perplexity Computer absolutely destroys products like OpenClaw, which are difficult to set up and are constantly breaking. In fact, Perplexity Computer is probably the most powerful AI tool I've ever tried for people who want a plug-and-play solution. Computer is made by Perplexity. I've made videos about how much I love Perplexity in the past, so they reached out to me about putting Computer through its paces, so that's exactly what I did. You can find Perplexity Computer by navigating to perplexity.ai on the web or opening up Comet Browser. Inside of the query box, you'll see this new button here that says Computer. If you click on this, this is now Perplexity Computer, and that is literally all the setup. You don't need to run command lines. You don't need to create a sandbox environment. It's literally just here, waiting for you, ready to be used. One of the most impressive things about Computer is that all you have to do is describe what you want, and Computer is going to use all the best AI tools out there to build it for you. So I'll tell it to create an interactive dashboard using transcripts from all the publicly available quarterly earning reports from S&P 500 companies, and then to look for trends and patterns across all of them. It will start by planning out the project, and it uses something called a model orchestrator for this. That's basically one AI that will create a task list of everything that needs to get done. It will then assign each task to the best AI for the job. For instance, if it needs images, it might use Nano Banana to make them. But if it has a complex coding task, it might use Claude Opus. And all the tasks are being done in parallel, so it goes much faster. And now it is finished, so let's take a look at what it built for us. I'm going to click up here on the full screen button. That will open it up in a new tab. We have a light mode. I will change it to dark mode. I think that looks fantastic. And here is Earnings Pulse, our market overview that shows sentiment and trends from the latest quarterly earning calls across the S&P 500. So 53 companies were analyzed, 45% of them were bullish, 55% of them were cautious or bearish. It of course analyzed the transcripts, and the top theme across all of them is growth. But here we can see all the top themes. So we have growth, AI is very popular, innovation, digital transformation, consumer spending, and regulation. Here we can see a pie graph that breaks down the sentiment between bullish, cautious, and bearish. We have tabs over here on the left, like a theme explorer. This is very impressive. So if we want to hear everyone who's mentioned tariffs, we can see that 26 companies mentioned tariffs, most of them in the industrials and even the healthcare industries. And we can see exactly what companies mention tariffs. If we want to see all the companies that mentioned AI, we can see a breakdown of that. A lot of companies who deal with financials talk about AI, and definitely technology as well. You can see all of those right here. We have a sector analysis, we have company details, and we have emerging signals. So this is telling us that tariff uncertainty is really weighing on a lot of companies, and there's a lot of mixed consumer spending that's worrying companies as well. And so coming back to the task here, notice that if you come all the way up here, this was all created with one single prompt. After that, Perplexity Computer took care of all the rest. It created multiple tasks in parallel. It then fetched all the data. It then created multiple sub-agents to actually build out the dashboard. And then finally, one of the most impressive things about it is that it actually used its own browser to take a look at this and to make sure that everything worked correctly and was rendering properly before sending me the final product. And all of this is done completely in the cloud. So you don't need to have your computer on or Perplexity Computer open for this to work. And you can run multiple tasks at the same time in the background, which is another reason that this is a lot more accessible than something like OpenClaw, which you do need to host yourself and find a way to have running 24/7. And this becomes particularly useful when you give it scheduled tasks. Here I asked it to create for me a daily briefing in the style of a news website. Every day it pulls in information like the weather for the day, how many meetings I have, what emails I have to reply to, and it also does research for me on any trending AI topics that I might be interested in making videos on. So coming through this every single day, I can get a snapshot of what my day is going to look like, and all of this is done in the cloud automatically for me every single morning. And unlike OpenClaw, this hasn't broken for me. It just works every day exactly as I expected to, with zero tinkering and almost no setup on my part. The only thing I had to set up was I needed to connect it with my favorite apps in order for this to work. Right now, if you come over to the left here where it says connectors, you can see that Perplexity Computer connects with what appears to be hundreds of different apps. And this allows it to access and act on your data across all those different apps. So it's kind of like having one place where everything can be connected. Now that's something that OpenClaw can also do. However, I was always extremely hesitant about connecting my OpenClaw up with some of these apps. I just don't fully understand how OpenClaw works or what kind of data it's potentially leaking. Computer, on the other hand, is built by a reputable company that I do trust when it comes to security. So I feel a lot more comfortable connecting up most of my important apps to something like Computer. But anyway, let me show you some other really cool things that are being built out with Perplexity Computer. Most of these tasks took me just a few minutes to maybe an hour to create, but Computer can actually run for several hours or even months nonstop. So this first one right here, I created to help me manage support tickets for a Chrome extension that I developed called Gemini Architect. So anytime a support ticket comes in, it automatically gets added now to this dashboard, and I can track all the different requests that people have for this extension. I can sort by bug fix, by feature requests, by performance issues or UI/UX issues. And there's even a review wall where it pulls in reviews every single week from the Chrome store so I can see what people are saying about my Chrome extension and what issues might be coming up. We also have an analytics tab that shows a breakdown of what sort of problems people are reporting and the top featured requests. That way I can really stay on track and can have a roadmap of exactly how to improve my Chrome extension. This next example comes from the Computer community. It's very impressive. So what they did was they asked Computer to collect all of Elon Musk's iMessages, SMS, and Signal messages that were released in the lawsuit between Twitter and Elon Musk. And it actually put them into this iMessage style dashboard. So here we can see all the messages back and forth between Elon Musk and Alex Shillings. You can see all the iMessages, the Signal messages, the group chats that he's inside of, and click into any of them and see exactly what messages were sent back and forth. And then finally, I had to create for me a single page website for myself. The current website I have is pretty bad. I wanted an updated one, and this is what it came up with. And what's really cool about this is that I didn't give it any of this information. I didn't give it any of these videos or any of these images. It just went out and found all of this on its own. Now, whenever I make videos like this, people will usually ask me to share the prompts that I use. But honestly, I don't really use any prompts with Computer. All I do is tell it what I need. It's just describing the outcome that you want, and Computer figures out how to get there. Let me show you an example of what I mean, and this will also be a good chance to show you voice mode, which is really cool in Perplexity Computer. You can activate that by clicking right here, and then I'll just talk to it and tell it what I'm looking for. I make a lot of long form videos on YouTube, and I want to be able to turn them into short form content for Instagram, but I don't have time to do any of that myself. So I need a completely hands-off approach. Can you build something for me that can look for new YouTube videos on my channel every morning and repurpose them and just post them to Instagram for me?
All set. The new task is underway to handle the whole process from finding new YouTube videos to posting on Instagram automatically.
So now it's just getting to work on the task, and if it needs anything from me, like a connector that it doesn't yet have access to, it will let me know that. I will then give it access, and then it's just going to take care of it for me. Finally, Perplexity Computer is now available on mobile as well, so you can access and manage all your workflows directly on your phone, even when you're away from your computer. So overall, Perplexity Computer is, I think, an incredible tool, one of the most powerful AI tools I've ever tested. But admittedly, it is not for everyone. Right now, the way you can get access to Computer is through a Perplexity Max plan, which costs $200 a month, and that will give you 10,000 Computer credits to use. Or they are now rolling out access to Perplexity Pro users. That only costs $20 a month, and it gives you 4,000 credits per month. For myself, I've used about 15,000 credits over the last few weeks, but that is with very, very heavy testing of Perplexity Computer. Once I've set up some of my dashboards, I've noticed that keeping them updated daily uses a lot less credits. And I think you will be able to buy additional credits on top of what's included with your plan. But if you're the type of person who just uses an AI chat like Perplexity to chat, maybe to help you with some emails or putting together some documents, then Computer probably isn't the right tool for you. You can just continue to use regular Perplexity or Comet. But let's say you're a business owner or an executive and you need an AI assistant that you can just get up and running in minutes with zero tinkering. Something that doesn't have all the frustrations or security concerns that OpenClaw has, and something that's cheaper than hiring a bunch of agencies or freelancers to do the work for you. Those are the type of people who Computer was built for, because this is essentially an employee that works 24/7 for you and starts at just $20 a month. If you want to try Perplexity Computer out for yourself, I'll have a link for it in the description down below. It is seriously one of the most impressive AI tools I've ever come across, and I've had the chance now to test probably hundreds of different AI tools. So if it's a good fit for you, I think it's definitely worth checking out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.